Gone Girl summary in 5 minutes. Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn is a psychological thriller about marriage, manipulation, deception, and media obsession. The novel follows Nick and Amy Dunn, a seemingly perfect married couple whose relationship slowly collapses into distrust, resentment, and psychological warfare. The story becomes a dark exploration of how people hide their true identities behind appearances. The novel begins on the morning of Nick and Amy's 5th wedding anniversary. Nick returns home to discover that Amy has mysteriously disappeared. Signs of struggle inside the house immediately suggest that something terrible may have happened. As police begin investigating, Nick quickly becomes the main suspect. At first, Nick appears calm and emotionally distant, which makes both the police and the public suspicious. His strange behavior during interviews and media attention causes many people to believe he may be guilty. Meanwhile, Amy's diary entries are revealed throughout the story, describing their relationship from her perspective. Through Amy's diary, readers learn that the marriage was once passionate and romantic. Amy was intelligent, beautiful, and successful, while Nick appeared charming and caring. However, financial struggles, career disappointments, and emotional distance slowly damaged their relationship. Amy's diary suggests that Nick became cold, dishonest, and possibly abusive. As the investigation intensifies, more evidence begins pointing toward Nick. Hidden financial problems, lies, and suspicious actions make him appear increasingly guilty. Public opinion turns against him, especially as television media sensationalizes the case. Nick realizes that he may be losing control over both the investigation and his own reputation. However, the novel suddenly reveals its first major twist: Amy is actually alive. Her disappearance was carefully planned as revenge against Nick for cheating on her and emotionally destroying their marriage. Amy intentionally created fake diary entries, planted evidence, and manipulated the crime scene to frame Nick for murder. This revelation completely changes the story. Amy is revealed to be highly intelligent, manipulative, and emotionally dangerous. She carefully studied how society views men, women, marriage, and crime in order to create the perfect false narrative. The second half of the novel follows Amy as she hides while watching Nick suffer publicly. She explains her motivations in chilling detail, revealing deep resentment and emotional instability. Amy believes Nick betrayed the idealized version of marriage she created in her mind. Meanwhile, Nick slowly uncovers the truth about Amy's plan. He realizes he is trapped in a psychological game against someone who understands manipulation extremely well. Despite his own flaws and dishonesty, Nick becomes a victim of Amy's revenge. The novel explores the concept of performance within relationships. Both Nick and Amy constantly pretend to be ideal versions of themselves instead of showing their authentic personalities. Over time, resentment builds because both feel trapped by expectations. Another major theme is media influence. The story shows how television and public opinion can quickly shape narratives without knowing the truth. Nick's image becomes more important than evidence, illustrating how easily public perception can be manipulated. The relationship between Nick and Amy becomes increasingly toxic and disturbing. Their marriage transforms into a psychological battle involving lies, control, fear, and obsession. Neither character is presented as entirely innocent or entirely evil. The climax becomes even more shocking when Amy unexpectedly returns home after killing another man who became obsessed with her. She fabricates another story to appear as a heroic kidnapping survivor. Because of her intelligence and manipulation, the authorities believe her version of events. Nick ultimately realizes he cannot easily escape the marriage. Amy announces she is pregnant, creating another emotional trap. Despite understanding each other's darkness, the couple remains together in a disturbing and unhealthy relationship. Overall, Gone Girl is a dark psychological thriller about toxic relationships, manipulation, identity, and deception. Gillian Flynn creates morally complex characters who constantly challenge readers' expectations. The novel's shocking twists and psychological tension made it one of the most influential thrillers of modern literature.